Hello everyone, welcome to a new Dr. Bash video where we are going over the top 5 decks in the Xyz Summoning event. So right now we have all these decks that I've been looking at, editing, trying to see what we can do live on Twitch with my friend Brocept here. Say hi, Brocept. Yeah, we're live on Twitch right now going over decks and ideas, and also just showing off our decks, isn't that right? Mostly showing off my Heraldic Time Thief deck, which is my pet deck. But I don't think that deck's going to be very relevant in this event. So let's just go over what we think. So we're not going to have them numbered on like this is the #1 best deck outside of one, which, spoiler alert, is Unchained. Unchained is probably the best deck in this event. There's other decks in here that I want to go over just to give you guys ideas, and if you have any other decks that you think that just didn't make it, because there's so many choices in this event. There's goblins, there's my Heraldic Beast deck, there's Galaxy Eyes, Trickstar, Valmonica, you can run that too. So this is just a few things that we're just going to go over quickly and just go over why we think that this deck is good. So I guess we can first go over the best deck. So this deck right here, why is this deck going to be the best deck? Probably without a doubt, because it has access to some of the craziest Xyz and craziest interruptions, and there is almost nothing anyone can do about it. I really love this deck too. So the real strength of this deck is the fact of all the hidden interactions that you have. So you can have, even though we're going to take Maxi out, Maxi doesn't have to be an equation in this deck. You can have triple copies of Effect Veiler in hand. You can have 2 copies of Effect Veiler or a copy of Ash with an entire board of like 3 set traps, 2 monsters that can, if you have DD Wave High King Caesar, he can just negate any card that summons from the deck or from the grave anywhere. It is not once per turn. So he can negate 2 cards for free essentially. And then with Rage, you can take a special summon monster, link off with it, and just because you have SP is banned for this event, but you can run Unicorn, or you can go into follow-up. If they're running a link deck, you can wait until they link summon to summon Unchained Abomination to have even more pops in their turn. There's so much you can do. This deck is crazy, and if I don't see this deck running around, I'm not sure what people are doing. They're probably just running whatever cheese or self TK deck to get gems, just like in the good old Xyz days. Another deck that I feel like is going to be a top contender in this event is going to be Goblins, or Goblin Riders specifically. So this deck specializes in rank 3 summoning and having a bunch of interactions with your opponent, such as with Armored Xyz and their new boss monster Goblin Biker, Big Gabonga. So his effect is if a card gets detached, you can target one face of monster field and attach it. So you can attach 2 monsters your opponent controls. You have access to rank 3s are actually really strong. So you have access to some really good Xyz plays, and Zeus is super easy, super common, and it's honestly just a solid rank 3 deck. It's a strong rogue deck, but that's the best I can give it. Strong rogue. But in this event, the ability to steal monsters, non-targeting and targeting, and with the ability to just change monster effects and a whole lot of negation on board, it's honestly very good. And the hand trap count is very high too, which is something for these events that you have to keep in mind whenever you play a deck, because the hand traps are always going to be there. You can't forget about them. And then another deck that's I feel like is just going to be really good too is Maldoce. This is their extra deck. You can of course add it to whatever you want. You can add an Armored Xyz into it if you want to, but this deck right here is so good at OTKs and playing around. So this is the OTK variant, and with their new support, they're slightly better at going first too. So it's okay at going first. It's really good going second. Non-targeting, shuffling cards back in the deck, with some really solid links that give them protection and searching with their new card that just came out with Mini Meow Karoon. Freaking love the art of it too. Freaking love it. This deck is going to absolutely throttle people if you're not ready for it. And then the last deck we have here is Raid Raptors. This is one of the few events where Raid Raptors is very playable, because the issue with Raid Raptors is they really rely on their Link 2 to get their play started. And without their Link 2, their plays are very limited. Just like Phantom Knights. Phantom Knights could be up here too, but Phantom Knights isn't as powerful at the moment as Raid Raptors, because the interaction, if they get negated early on, it's pretty over for them compared to Raid Raptors, where they can play through things better than Phantom Knights. So, but if you want to run Phantom Knights, they're viable because Phantom Knights Rusty Bridge is here. There's so many routes you can take. There's so many avenues, different play styles of this. There's a lot of skill expression in this deck where, even though the end board may be similar to other people, there's a lot of things that you can do to differentiate yourself. Like, for example, in my Raid Raptor deck, I love Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, and because it has triple monster negates and can reborn any Xyz monster from the graveyard if you destroy a card with its negation. So it's recursion, it's negation. Not that many people run it, just because you can only summon it, or it only gains effect if it has Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon as material, so you need to run it. But if you do run it, you have triple monster negates just for free on one card, and summoning it is not hard. So there's a lot of expression in this deck. There's a lot of ways to play. Honestly, if you're a Raid Raptor player and you see this deck and it's different, find the way that you want to play, because this deck has a lot of individuality to it. I have two honorable mentions before this goes out. Trickstar is fully liable if you're a Trickstar player. I love this deck for kicks and giggles. Is it good at the moment? Not really, but you can cheese off a couple of wins off with Reincarnation and Present Card. Or you can, if your hand is absolutely cracked, you can FPK your opponent, but that is 100% reliant on your luck stack. It's literally turn 0. If you open with like Trickstar Festival and like 2 other, and a copy of Candina and a copy of Licorice, you can FTK. Oh, and the last requirement is Chain Summon. If you have Chain Summoning with Trickstar, Candina, and Licorice, you can FTK your opponent. Because if you're running the Link variant of it, you can full combo, make them draw like 8 cards, and if you have Dark Room with Nightmare, it just makes it happen a lot faster. Then the last deck, just because I freaking love this deck. This is my pet deck, Heraldic Beast. I'm definitely going to be running this on stream during the event. So if you want to come by and see a mid deck do mid things that other decks can do for a lot easier and a lot more free, come by and watch Heraldic Beast. And don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Have a good one. Bye.